Good morning, Olumese. Good morning, Mr. Dapo. All right. We're about to kickstart now. My name is Adeyemo Mosumola Victoria, aka Small but Mighty. aka Small but Mighty. The creative director of Movix Kitchen. Yes. An HR practitioner. An HR consultant. Name it. I'm into real estate. Name it. I'm an interior decor. Yes. I'm an interior decor. And currently, I'm into farm inputs, agrochemicals, fertilizers, seeds, sprayers. Please, I deserve a round of applause. It's not easy. It's not easy. So I have my co-host here with me. My co-host is a chef, a tech guru, a cryptocurrency trader, in person of Samuel Emeka.
Good morning, everyone.
It's a round of applause for my co-host.
Good morning, everyone. All right, so I would be co-hosting with my fellow colleague here, and we hope we do have a wonderful day with us today. Like she said, my name is Samuel. I am the Sam in Samuel, aka I'm well known as Trade with Sam. Okay, I'm also known as Trade with Sam. I love cooking. Cooking to me is therapeutic. So what do? I sell foodstuffs. I trade assets.
Please, a round of applause for my co-host.
I'm a project manager, and also I develop business for tech startups. So that's what I do.
He sells food stuff. He sells gari. He sells yam. He sells rice. He sells beans. He sells crayfish. He sells stockfish. He sells palm oil. So in case you want to buy food stuff, come and meet me. I will link you up. He's going to give you discounts. Are you with me? Are you with me? All right. So MBA Week 2025. Transforming realities into business opportunities. Now the question is, one of the speakers yesterday asked the question, focus on opportunities or perceived problems. I don't know if we've gone home to think about the questions, to think about yesterday's conversations, the speakers. I don't know if we've gone home to think about. So very quickly, if you were here yesterday, please raise up your hand. I know you people, and there's attendance sheet.
Don't worry, we'll not judge those that are not here. Just raise up your hands.
If you were here yesterday, please raise up your hand. I'm going to call you out too. If you not raise up your hand, I'll call you. Rolayo, you were here yesterday. Please step out. Please, a round of applause for Rolayo. MBA 2, Agba HR. Rolayo.
Okay, we have Queen also was around yesterday. Okay.
Where's Queen?
So you can ask the question. This queen. Yeah, this queen.
Please Come out, Queen. A round of
She
applause
was here
for
yesterday.
Queen. You were here yesterday.
Don't be shy. You're a
There's a
professional.
cash gift, though.
Everything
There's a
fashion.
cash prize. Please, a round of
Serial
applause.
entrepreneur.
I just have 3 questions.
Our speakers are around now. We do this when our speakers are around. Let's do it during the breaks. We have breaks today, don't worry. Musu. We have breaks today.
Belayo, don't go. Mr. Taufik is around. Belayo, don't go and sit down. Okay. So somebody spoke about customer service yesterday. Customer service yesterday. And she made mention of 5 core pillars. You know, concern you. 5 core pillars of customer service. See, I'm going to give you 1,000 naira. Either airtime, data, or cash, or whatever you want. I'll give you 1,000 naira if you can mention the 5. Ole, what did you weigh me? Don't check group chat. Oh yeah. 5. Somebody sent to our group chat yesterday.
It's my book now. Listening and personalization. Okay, professionalism and courtesy. Consistency, problem solving, and creating memorable memories for your customers.
You did not win 1,000 naira because you are checking your book. You are checking your book. And then this last question. Our UISB logo has 4 realities. 4 realities. And you have to mention it accordingly. No. Accordingly.
Oh.
I'm looking for who. It was yes. UISB carries 4 realities.
So that's the logo projected on the screen. You want to answer because of 1K airtime or
1,000 naira.
or you want to answer because of the love of this program? Which one?
1,000 naira. UISB. Whoa. No. They already put the answers in our group chat. I'm not going to come my classmate.
Okay.
Let him talk now.
What she's doing is a redefinition of now person we know you they go do you. So that is just simple like that.
They interpreted our logo for according to the way she said it yesterday.
There's a man, a woman,
There's a man
showing
and a woman.
gender equality.
That's not the first one.
You are correct. Move on.
That's not the first one.
So what's
Boy
the
is
first one?
correct. Let him move on. It's part of it.
Then they are carrying bag, showing,
Yes, you are correct.
and then there is the logo of UI, showing learning,
Education, yeah. Okay.
education, learning.
There's the last one.
Last one I dash you.
And the last one is the ants they are checking together, showing what?
Partnership.
Our
A round of
collaboration.
applause for ourselves.
So you
I'm
deserve
not giving you 1,000
you deserve
naira.
100 naira airtime.
It's 500 naira. I'll give it. I'm going to give you 5 naira. All right. So we're moving on. Queen, would like you to take the opening prayer.
Please pray for us. You are not an atheist.
Good morning, everybody. Please, let's rise up. I love this. We thank you, Father, for today. We thank you for us. We thank you that we're about to commence this program. We start with renewed mind in Jesus' name. We pray that every activity planned out for today, and in Jesus'
Amen.
speakers that are on their way, we pray for them safe delivery here right now in Jesus' name.
Amen.
And we pray that we get everything they are to imbibe in us in Jesus' name. And we pray that at the end of this program, we have full cause to glorify your name in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. So we can all see. What's this?
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, industry innovators, and future shapers. Like I have introduced myself earlier, my name is Adeyemo Mosmola Victoria, aka Small But Mighty. So, it's with my co-host, Samuel Emeka. It's our great pleasure to welcome you to what promises to be an ordinary day of vision and strategy. We are not just attending this program, but we are the future leaders who will write the next chapter of our industry. Now, our theme is transforming realities into business opportunities. What does that really mean? What does it really mean? It means that we are looking at the world not as a list of problems, the logistical snags, the shifting consumer demands, the economic uncertainties, but as a dynamic landscape filled with unmet needs and uncaptured value. Every time a customer says, "I wish there was a better way," that is a reality. And for us, that "I wish" is the blueprint for $1 billion opportunity. Over the next few hours, we will challenge you to see disruption not as a threat, but as an open invitation to innovate. So let's stop observing the future and start building it together. Please engage fully, network generously, and prepare to have your perspectives fundamentally shifted. Welcome once again to MBA Week 2025. Let the transformation begin. Please, a round of applause.
So let's do something real quick. If you know you're a citizen of Ibadan, raise up your hand. Be proud of your city now. If you know you're a citizen of Ibadan, raise up your hand. Yes, citizen of Ibadan. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, now. Indigenes, rather, indigene of Ibadan. Thank God. We learn every day.
Somewhere you'd have said, Ibadan kini so re.
Oh yeah. Ibadan kini so. You know, back then when I was in secondary school, one of the things I learnt was Oriki Ibadan. And I make sure I learnt it. Ibadan Mesogon. Yeah, yes, right. You know Gumola, right? We are continuing for
ológòdó kẹrin lójú ogun Ìbàdàn tí ń gbéjàre olóhùn Ìbàdàn ajẹgbíjẹkarahun àfikarahun fọ orin mu Ìbàdàn nílé Olúyọ̀lé ilé Ìbíkúnlé.
So who else know Ricky Ibadan here? Eh? You know it. Who knows it here? AY. Be proud now. Eh? I might believe you, but I'm not believing your words. All right. So, also, remember those songs we sing back then in nursery school? All those thick Yoruba songs. Not the Gen Z songs now. Oh yeah, sing one of them. Especially if you go to all these, all these serious public secondary school. Oh yeah, all those serious public secondary school. So can you sing one of the songs for us?
Okay. Where you? Jesus.
All those kind of songs you sing when you want to march in after assembly, that you sing with all your passion, you mashing your leg like this. Oh yeah, dodo ati rice. Oh yeah. This bro, you look like someone that will know it. Oh yeah, sing it.
I know this thing outside do.
Don't worry, we are inside. We are inside. Don't worry.
Use the mic.
So who can sing that song for us? Dodo ati rice. Oh yeah. Thank you, sir. I'm coming.
If you attach money, we will see.
The most popular one is wherever you go, 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 go. See them. Wherever you be, do not say yes when you mean to say no. Àwọn ọmọ aláìgbọ́rọ̀ kọ́ nílé ìwé. Wọn kò fetí sílẹ̀ sí ohun tó olùkọ́ kọ́ wọn. Dòdò àti ráìsì kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá. Wọ́n á jẹ wọ́n á gbòdo roboto. Iṣẹ́ ìyẹn kì í ṣe tiwọn. Eré ṣàní tiwọn. Dòdò àti ráìsì kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá. Wọ́n á jẹ wọ́n á gbòdo roboto. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Larry, for that, for taking us back to, those days. Also, we have the English one now. Solomon Grandi. Abi, in your school back then, they don't have drums. Solomon Grandi. Christian on. Married on. End of Solomon Grant. Back then we had wonderful nursery time. And it was one of those days we will come to. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. So, that's nice. So, now let's play Little Riddle. One of the things I love about Riddle is the fact that it's make you think. So let me just do one simple riddle. Okay. So that riddle is this. I am. Wait, what's happening? What? Who has cities but no houses, forests but no trees, water and no fish? What am I? What's the thing? I am something. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, water and no fish. What am I? What am I? I have cities but no house, forests but no trees, water and no what? Fish.
Please don't use ChatGPT here. Don't use Jola.
So nobody can answer that. What's the question?
What are cities but no houses, forests but no trees, water and no fish? What am I? Who said a map? 1,000 naira.
Thanks for your AI. It's AI.
You use ChatGPT.
Thanks for that AI knowledge. But we have to say it like 7 times now.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, Let's welcome our HOD in person of Dr. Omitoyin Ashiyanbola for our welcome address. Please, a round of applause, please.
Please, can you have your seat? She did another naming ceremony for me. She gave me another name. I wonder where she got Ashiyanbola from. Maybe because Shiyonbola looks like a surname, she just helped to put her there. So my name is Shiyonbola. Thank you very much. Am I to speak first or you are to invite the guests? Welcome address first before you invite the guests. Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, our invited guests. Thank you for coming. Good morning, sir. We appreciate you. Just like I said yesterday, 2025 is actually going to be a year of great realities for us in University of Ibadan School of Business. We are looking at transforming realities into business opportunities. And when you talk about transformation, realities, business opportunities, you discover that from all we have been learning, we talked about identifying realities. That means you want to solve a problem, just like the speakers of yesterday said. You must be able to recognize what is happening, to be able to develop your ideas. And then you are supposed to also have some things put in place to make sure that those ideas are not just flying around. And one of the things we do is to use market research. We also talked about planning and validation. These are things we have done in either strategic planning or entrepreneurship and innovation. And then you build and create your plan. Business plan, very critical. And the next thing is to monitor. And if you look at this, it has been carefully packed together in this program. So we'll be coming with the classroom, meeting realities, creating opportunities, and having business opportunities to run with. So I want to welcome you to day 2 of this wonderful occasion on MBA week that you are using to do what? To take yourself to the next level that you are supposed to be. And may I say again, tell your people, send a message to them, DM them, or what do you call? DM them. Oh, that's what I said, DM them, that something good is happening here. This is just more than coming around to chat away time and get wine away time, but a time to come together to rub minds, to really get into these realities that we are talking about, and thus there will be a transformation and we can get a lot of business opportunities. So I'm believing that by the end of this week, all of us that will have participated will not remain the same. If you have not had a vision, if you have not had a plan, you should be able to put things together now, and your plan should become clearer and brighter and better. And you also must be enhanced to do better. And so on behalf of, on this note, I want to welcome you to University of Ibadan School of Business, Department of Business, Entrepreneurship, and Executive Education. And I hope that today will be another meaningful day in our lives when we will set our priorities right to be able to fit into the realities of the time and then be able to create business opportunities. On behalf of the management, you are welcome and God bless you.
Thank you very much, our mommy, for that speech.
Yeah. So very quickly, I'll be taking the introduction of guests. While the games were going on, one of our distinguished speaker, I've been under his presentation, I think last year, if I'm correct, last year or early this year, and I don't want to say I was blessed, but it was a powerful session, and I'm happy seeing him here today. So I would like to welcome, please, where are the ushers, please? Our ushers. Okay. So we have one of our speakers for today, in person of pharmacist Taofik Oladipupo Odukoya. Please, a round of applause for him as he goes to the high table. You're welcome, sir. So the next person I'll be calling. The next person I'll be calling is our mama of Uisb, our HOD. One man what? One man mopo. I didn't say that though. In person of Dr. Omitoyin Shinyobola. Please, a round of applause as she comes forward. You're welcome, ma. I would also our MSc coordinator. I don't know if some of us know her, but she has been a very good mother to me. In person of Dr. Kehinde Olanipekun. Mommy, just wave. I know you don't want to come to the high table. Thank you very much, ma. Ushers, please. We need to usher mommy to the high table today. Today. Ushers, please. All right. I would also like to recognize and bring him to the high table. Our MBA coordinator. Our MBA, we're supposed to be clapping by now. Oh. Our MBA coordinator, in person of Dr. Ogunleke. Please, we need you on the high table today. Today. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. I would also like to recognize our MBA president. Our MBA president, in person of Dr. Lekan Ogunlowo. Please, a round of applause for him. All class governors, MBA 2, class governor, Esther or Detayo, please, wherever you are, just raise up your hand. Just wave, just wave. Deputy class governor, Mr. Lanre, please wave wherever you are. MBA 1 class governor full time, in person of Michael. Okay, okay. And I want to recognize each and every one of you. Sorry, MBA 1 part-time. You're welcome. Sorry, your name? In person of Olamide, please wave your hands. PDM class governor. Where are you? The person is on his way or on our way. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming today to learn. Please give yourselves a round of applause. So I would like us to rise as we take the national anthem and the school anthem. Please, I would like us to rise as we take the national anthem and the school anthem.
Nigeria, all I'm proud to say.
UI anthem. Applause for ourselves, please. Let's have our seats.
Don't forget, for a mind that knows is a mind that is what? Free. And that's why we are here today, so we can actually know what we are supposed to know, so we can actually be free. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the day 2 of MBA week.
All right. Our topic today, or for this week, transforming realities into business opportunities. And we have one of our speakers here today. I'll be reading his citation. This is right, sir. All right. Pharmacist Taufik Oladipupo Odukoya is a highly accomplished pharmaceutical management professional with over 20 years of experience in delivering exceptional patient care and advancing the One Health initiative. Holding dual master's degrees in pharmacy from the University of Ibadan and business administration from Obafemi Awolowo University. He brings a unique blend of scientific expertise and strategic leadership skills to the forefront. As the founder and CEO of Vanguard Pharmacy Limited, pharmacist Odukoya has successfully transformed the brand from a humble beginning to a thriving chain with over 400 employees, solidifying its position as a leader in community pharmacy in Nigeria. Under his visionary leadership, Vanguard Pharmacy has become a significant employer of pharmacists and intern pharmacists in the Southwest region with a strong commitment to patient care and community development. Pharmacist Odukoya's innovative approach and strategic vision have made a profound impact on the growth and development of the pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria. His expertise encompasses pharmaceutical clinical services, entrepreneurship, business management, market development, and customer relations, which he has applied effectively to build and grow his business. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, join me as I welcome our speaker for today, in person of pharmacist Taofik Oladipupo Odukoya. Please, a round of applause for our speaker as he comes forward for his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. I was actually expecting to be the number 4 speaker. So it's more like a shock, really, to me. I think you guys caught me there. But again, it's a responsibility that we have to deliver. And when we have that opportunity. Hello? Okay. So when we have the opportunity, we obviously have to rise up to the occasion. I think I want to say, looking at the high table, there are familiar faces. I can't call them my friends, but they are my teachers. I know, once a teacher, always a teacher. And irrespective of the school where you actually graduate from, you have to respect teachers wherever you find them. Unfortunately for me, I've got 2 degrees in University of Ibadan. My B.Pharm in the university in 2001, and my master's in clinical pharmacy in 2006. So anybody from University of Ibadan remains my teacher. Okay. I don't like the way the audience is actually seated. I can see this is where the screen is, but I see a lot of people on this side of the hall. That means you want me to deprive people from this side of the hall. I don't know if you can have a mix so that we can balance it up. Maybe those at the back can fill some of the seats here so that there can be an engaging discussion. Of course, obviously, I will try as much as possible to make it as engaging as possible. Let me see. But the responsibility I have today is very simple. They said I should speak to soaring over challenges in retail business. And I think I am qualified to speak to this because I've practiced in the retail space for almost 20 years. In fact, the Vanguard Pharmacy brand will be 20 years next year. And every opportunity I have to speak, I don't like to miss the opportunity. Because it is not for the population you are speaking to. It might just be to that one person in the audience that will be inspired and will go all out to also replicate or even do something bigger. And you know, I've had numerous encounters meeting people from far and near. And the most recent one, I was somewhere over the weekend and I met someone that told me clearly that she listened to me speak some years back and she got a lot of inspirations. And because of that, she's been looking for an opportunity to encounter me face to face and actually say thank you. So that is what happens when we actually go to speak. It is important that we don't know who we are impacting, but we have to ensure we deliver to the best of our capabilities. And that's what I will try to do today. So what are these objectives? I'm going to be speaking to understanding the retail landscape in Nigeria. Major challenges facing the retail sector in the country. Of course, how to overcome those challenges, I think we'll discuss it. I will look at the pestle analysis
And obviously, we will try and see some of the realities and we'll conclude. I hope you guys will go all the way with me. So the first thing I brought here is the word of Albert Einstein. And it says, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunities. I want that to sing, please. And why did I decide to start like this? It's because I engage with a lot of Nigerians almost on a daily basis. And what I hear from people is actually difficult challenges, the difficult terrains, and how it actually live in this country. But again, this guy, one of the greatest human beings that ever lived, says that in the middle of difficulty lies opportunities. The question is, do you agree or not? I will not help you to answer that. You have to do that yourself. Now, let's look at another quote from Napoleon Hill, who says that every challenge carries within it the seed of equal or greater benefits. For me, I think this is aligning with the first quote I shared. And it is not important that you agree, but I think it will do you well, both in the short and in the long run, to actually agree. Now, let's understand the retail landscape in Nigeria. What are the issues? Retail is the heartbeat of commerce. There are two levels that you can never eradicate in the value chain. The manufacturer, that is the starting point, and the retailer, the end point, where goods and services eventually get to the final consumer. And so, any country that the retail is not developed is going to still be struggling. And that's why some of us are advocating that the retail landscape in Nigeria has to truly evolve from where it used to be. From open markets to organized retail chains, e-com platforms. I know you are my friend. You are trying to make sure that it doesn't cut. Fantastic. Thank you. What does retail do? Retail actually is the connecting dots between the producers and the consumers. And in the process, retail helps to drive the productivity of the nation. But operating in the Nigerian retail sector means that you have to contend with a lot of issues. Inflation, we're excited now, it is coming down. I think as at the last data we received last month, 20.1%. Supply chain constraints, currency fluctuations. We are enjoying a bit of stability of the naira now, and I think we are gradually also even appreciating. Changing consumer behavior, high cost of operations, because you have to provide electricity yourself to drive your business. And that's a lot of money. You also have to move inventories from point A to point B on roads that are not too good. And all of that obviously creates serious challenges for the operators. But that's exactly what, in a nutshell, those of us in retail actually faces, almost on a daily basis. And can you think of any retail space where there is no electricity, and you have inventories in thousands that you have to ensure that the stock balances almost every day. Obviously, the solution is not to go manual. You can only rely on technology. And the more you rely on technology to drive your operations, it means that you need a constant supply of electricity. And you know, that is the connection. And these are the issues. Yet, within these challenges, I tell people, lies incredible opportunities for those that are resilient, those that are creative, and those that have transformative mindsets. And that should align with the first two quotes I gave you guys at the beginning. So let's look at a bit of inspiration, because I need to inspire. And at that point, my very good friend just stepped in. It's a story I love to share. And I think I have the opportunity to share the Vanguard Pharmacy story across the globe, in Europe, in America, in Asia, and even on numerous times in Nigeria. It is the story that we tag the humble beginning. And that's exactly a story of Vanguard Pharmacy that started in this small store about 19 years ago. In a 30 square meter space, the minimum required by Pharmacy Council to practice community pharmacy in Nigeria. And in that space, we started with just 3 employees. And for people that have heard that story before, the answer is not far-fetched. My beautiful wife, my humble self, and 1 associate. And we started with little or no inventories. We had more shelves than drugs. And people looked at the two of us and said, "Are you guys crazy? You want to lock yourself in this space?" And you know all the naysayers. Left and center. From friends, close associates, families. But like I always remind my wife those days, they are saying this not because they don't love us. It is actually because they loved us so much. And they want something great and good for us. But what did we do with all of those feedbacks? It made us to strongly resolved that we have to make a success of that space. And so what happened? Today, Vanguard Pharmacy is one of the largest and the fastest growing retail chain in the southwest of Nigeria. Today, we operate in 3 states of the Federation. Earlier, the lady that introduced me said 400 employees, but today we have crossed over 500 employees. And not in 12 branches, 13 branches scattered across the southwest. Of course, we are known to be a one-stop shop for pharmacy, veterinary, supermarket, and bakery. And we have a lot of things that we have pioneered in that space. Despite the fact that people will look at that space and will say it's a traditional industry, we have continued to innovate even in that space. One that I'll mention here was we were the first pharmacy to show that in the human pharmacy you can also take care of veterinary medicines. And that discussion, the evolution started sometimes in 2011. And it actually caused a lot of crash because professionals were hearing it for the first time. But today, it is now a common thing that you see all around you. And we have continued to lead in that space even as of today. We are one of the largest employer of veterinary doctors in the private sector in the southwest of the country. We are one of the largest employer of pharmacists in the private sector in the southwest of the country. And I'm saying this because of the population of the young minds that I see seated. And I'm saying that even here, even now, things are happening and you can truly make a difference. If you desire, you choose a path and you follow through. Be rest assured there will be naysayers. But as your result begins to show, people begin to align with your vision. And that's exactly what the Vanguard Pharmacy story is all about. This is the kind of branches we have today, scattered all across the southwest of the country. And are we stopping? I can tell you no. Because even in this decade, we have got 3 ambitions. And one is to become a national and a West African retail brand by the end of this decade. We are determined and we'll continue to push for it. Of course, everybody that knows us knows that we are a customer-centric brand. We will do anything to ensure, within the ambit of the law, to ensure that our clients, our customers, are truly satisfied. We will go high and beyond. And of course, nobody works in Vanguard Pharmacy and wants to leave. We are not where we want to be, but we are getting closer by the day, because we want to be one of the top places to work in the pharmaceutical retail space in Nigeria. And I tell people that we are one of the very few companies that, despite the jackpot syndrome in the healthcare system, we have been able to retain our top talent in pharmacists, our top talent in veterinary doctors, our top talent in the business, despite the fact that Nigerian professionals were jumping out of the country. The question is, why do you think people want to stay? It is not because they truly like me. It is because there is truly a value that we are all enjoying together in the business. And it's a lot of work, but it's a vision we are all driving together. So let me go into my responsibility today. Now, what are the major challenges that is facing the retail sector in the country? There are numerous of it. So what I've tried to do is to separate them into some challenges that are within our control as the drivers of the business. And that's all of the theories we learned in the business school, where we bring them to apply them. Some are also outside of our control. There's nothing you can do about it. For example, I live in Nigeria, where I cannot control the quality of the road that will lead to my house. I don't have control over it. But despite all of these challenges, you have to still develop strategies to ensure that your business remains afloat as much as possible. So, let's see. Within the control of the entrepreneurs, there are quite a lot of things. For me, is why the reasons why people start business. I've met and counseled a lot of the younger generations that will tell me, oh, they want to start business because they are looking for money. And I'll tell them, that is the wrong reason. Because the challenges that you are going to face is going to be huge. That before you see the money, a lot of them will have actually, they will run. What other reasons? I've seen some that says, I'm tired of my superiors talking to me anyhow. I want to be my own boss. How God? If you cannot be controlled, you cannot do well in a space where people are controlling you, telling you when to resume and when not to resume. By the time you are on your own, you are fully in control of your timelines. That means you can make or mar your business depending on the attitude you bring to work. You know, when you are under a paid employment and they tell you the resumption time is 8 a.m., you are bounded by that to resume. But imagine you are the owner of your business and that heavy rain starts to fall. what will you do? You have got two options. You have to go into the rain and go and make the promises you made to your customers, or you tell, I cannot come and die. Let me sleep. I will go when the rain stops. What's the implication? Your competition will go inside the rain, meet all the customers' expectations, and gradually you'll be out of the business. And that's why I tell people that the reasons why people go into entrepreneurship has to be clearly defined. Once the foundation is wrong, you are going to struggle to motivate yourself. And when you are not motivated, you are not excited, you realize that you can't drive that business. I've been working in Vanguard Pharmacy since 2006. And one thing I tell my team is the day I stop being motivated, I have to leave as the CEO. Because for the business to continue to scale, it needs someone that is super motivated, still driving the business. So please, don't venture because you finished your MBA and you don't want to be controlled. You think you have enough knowledge. Go and start something. You have to be sure that your reason is very, very strong. 2, talent/workforce issue is a big deal all across every industry, from the academia in Nigeria to, I think of any industry, everybody just wants to exit the country. So you are going to struggle to attract talent, to have quality people to work with. But despite all of these challenges, if you have been truly well set up, you will realize that people will still want to work in your space. And there are quite a lot of examples of companies in this country that started in our own very eye, and we continue to see them expand and grow. At least, if I don't remember anyone, I remember 2 great banks we have in Nigeria today. GT Bank and Zenith Bank. Started late 80s, 1990. Today, nobody remembers that those companies were founded in Nigeria in those periods, because they have an international outlook today. And so they are able to attract talent from far and near. So it's important that we pay attention. Talent and workforce issues, they are standard procedures to set up your organization so that it can continue to attract top talent in your space, in your community, in your environment. And for me, all of that doesn't have to be super dependent on the economy, but also dependent on the way you set up your business for success or failure. And it's important. Lack of entrepreneurial knowledge. People just think, I can do it. It's not difficult. What is in it? I'm a pharmacist. I can do retail. I've gone to the university. I have my MBA. I can do it. You have to truly be prepared to apply those knowledge all the way. Gratification. That's something I like to speak to a lot. Because from personal experience, I know that entrepreneurship is not for the faint-hearted. And when you don't learn to delay gratification, you are probably not going to be able to get your business to a level that is desired. And it's important that anyone that is willing and trying to venture into the world of entrepreneurship must learn what delayed gratification is all about. Don't seek gratification too early. Business processes issues. Of course, that can be linked to entrepreneurship education. It's something that will keep evolving. As you scale your business, you are going to get to new levels of challenges. And the more you actually continue to learn and review processes, then you can obviously become better. Management and leadership issues. In fact, you will soon realize that at a point in your entrepreneurial journey, you Your responsibility is just going to be the production of leaders. And the more leaders you can produce in your system, the more and the higher the chances that your business can actually continue to scale and survive, with or without you. So it's important that we understand that all of these are things that are within our control. Funding, and I'm looking at both in the short term and in the long term. So for me, I can put funding in two categories. Funding can be within your control, because if you set up your system well, it will be easy to attract funds. And if you also don't set up your business well, it can be pretty difficult to actually attract funding. It's about documentation, documentation, documentation. And the more you can keep your books very, very well, the easier it is to actually attract good source of funding. Customer experience. It's something that I tell people that we are so poor at it in Nigeria. And in all my rating, I can't think of any company in Nigeria that have rated more than 6.5 in customer experience. I can't think of any company not in Nigeria. Because when you experience what customer experience is outside the shores of this country, you realize that, wow, there is still always another level. And that's something that we all need to collectively continue to pay a lot of attention to as a people and ensure that we move on it so well. And you know, you can't blame government for your company's poor customer experience. It's something that has to be developed in the DNA of your organization, something that you obviously have to also translate across as much as possible. Technology. Technology is within your control. And as much as possible, it is something you have to invest in intentionally. We have done fairly well in Vanguard in terms of technology. I know in the space where we operate, we use one of the best technologies that is available in the global space to drive our operations. Yes, it's a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it gives us a lot of controls, and a lot of headaches will naturally disappear. I can't think of us not operating at that level, the level of headache that we'll probably be facing. Poor infrastructure, like I mentioned earlier, is not in your control as an entrepreneur. You can only walk around. I remember a long time ago when the Lagos-Ibadan used to be very, very bad. We used to design our logistics system to travel to and come back to Ibadan. To travel to Lagos and be back to Ibadan, we give 72 hours timeline. That means everybody at our back end in procurement plans with 72 hours for a Lagos trip. Of course, things are better today, but that was how we were able to infuse the limitation of the poor infrastructure to ensure that it doesn't impact negatively on our outcome at the end of the day, because it is there. Yes, everybody will complain, but we all know that is the problem. How do we ensure that it doesn't impact the outcome that you bring into your business at the end of the day? And so that is the level of thinking you have to bring in when solving this. Power, of course, today is obviously getting better when you think of the alternative sources that we have as entrepreneurs. Today, you can invest in alternative sources of energy, solar. I know wind is not popular in Nigeria, but wind is also there. But with solar, you can combine it with whatever you get from IBEDC or the public sources. And you can find a mix to ensure that you still balance it. But obviously, that can be outside of your control. Unstable government policies. Because we are a nation that goes for elections every 4 years, whether it's the same party, once the personality changes, you are expecting policies to change. That has been our experience since 1999. Whether it will change in future, we don't know. So you should arm yourself with that information and use it to plan in your business. We have an election coming up. The question is, if the current president stays, you should be able to predict what will happen. And if it is otherwise, you should also be able to predict how your business will obviously run. But the reality is that some of these things can be beyond your control. Okay, I think I spoke around external funding. That can be a challenge. And a major area where that can be a challenge is in the interest rates. You don't have control over interest rate because it's the monetary policy of the federal government, of the CBN, that determines all of that. And so if they tell us they are trying to curb inflation, that means that the rate will go so high and it will impact interest rates. And that's exactly what businesses have faced in Nigeria in the last 8-9 years, with interest rate climbing to over 30%, and we still have to do business. I was discussing with a friend of mine just last week in a foreign land, and she couldn't understand that some of us has to do business at a high double-digit interest rate, because in our own country, interest rate is just around 2%. It is what it is, and we have to continue to obviously survive. Of course, inventory and supply chain inefficiencies due to external factors. It's something that can happen, and we have to find a way to build a system into it as much as possible. Competition. When I teach competition, I tell people that it is not beyond you, but it is also within your control. The moment you understand what competition is, life will be better for you. So what I tell people is that competition exists to make us better and not to actually kill us. And I've never seen any business that is killed by competition. But what I've seen and I've read over the years are businesses that have competed in the same space for hundreds of years, and the 2 or 3 companies have continued to get better, because competition can truly make you better as much as possible. Unstable exchange rates, I think we spoke around that. So the question is, how do you, all of these challenges that we've spoken about, how can you actually live above and beyond them? And it's important that we talk about that. So, one is, I think I have divided them into 2 different segments. One is to talk about you build the roadmap. It's like saying you are an entrepreneur. This is what you have decided to do. Stop complaining. Start bringing in the solutions. And so, what are the things you do? One is to define your vision and strategic goals. There has to be clarity. It has to be very, very clear. What is your vision? What are your strategic objectives as an organization? Once that is clearly defined, how do you envision your business in the next 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years? All of these things has to be very, very clear. The big picture, they will tell you, think global, but act local. So your thinking has to be truly global. But yes, you still act local. And it's important that we pay attention to all of that. Goals clearly defined, major objectives, and you have to keep them as smart as possible with clear timelines and all of that. Conduct SWOT analysis regularly for your business. What are your business strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats? And I'm sure this is MBA school. This will have been taught in school. Your strengths and your opportunities lies within. The weaknesses and the threat lies outside. So continue to constantly evaluate and ensure to use it to improve what you do. Remember, your strengths are what your company's internal advantages and resources are. Your weaknesses are your internal limitations and disadvantages. The opportunities are the external trends and market conditions. And of course, the threats are what external challenges exist out there. And if you do well, you would obviously get better. Then you need to learn how to allocate resources. You need to determine your resources, working closely with your budget. And as much as possible, you have to be disciplined around that space. For me, this is one big area where entrepreneurs actually suffers in this part of the world. And this is where delaying gratification also comes in. I do a lot of business consultation, and when I come and give advices to business owners, they're always like, at what time will I begin to enjoy my money? It's a tough question. But again, I like to always refer back them to the basics. If you want to spend more money, then go and build a bigger cake. That means go and build a bigger business. And when I counsel and I advise entrepreneurs, you are not expected to take more than 25% of the profit for that business as dividend. Remember, it's a percentile. Am I right? 25% of 100 is 25. 25% of 1,000 becomes what? 250. 25% of 1,000,000 becomes what? 25% of 1,000,000,000 becomes what? So if you want more, then go and build a bigger business. And in that way, you can actually protect that business and allow the business to actually breathe and grow. Establish communication and collaborations. This is important. And a lot of people think they collaborate, but we don't like to collaborate in this part of the world because of trust issues. And what I tell people is, if you don't trust yourself, it will be difficult for you to learn to collaborate. But to even collaborate, it's simple. Ensure you document as much as possible. And if you do a lot of that, you are going to actually get better. You monitor and adapt. There will always be shifts and turns in the economic cycle, whether in the world or in the country where we live. The question is, the reason why you have to monitor and you have to learn to adapt is that. So every organization that will survive must be nimble, and it's important. So you do regular track your progress along your roadmap. Prepare to adapt your roadmap based on the market realities. You have to. And the more you do that, the higher the chances that you can survive. A big one for me is people and the investment in your people. Please, your people working with you are not just an employee. They are your most important asset in the business. And if you truly want people to go along on the journey with you, then they have to be seen as part of the business and not an external person in the business. And you know, there are ways to communicate this in decision making, in a lot of things. You have to ensure that people are well carried along. And as much as possible, the more you do that, you realize that people who truly want to stay and grow along with you. There is no investment you put in your people that can be too much. Of course, know your numbers. You cannot succeed in any endeavor without knowing the numbers. And I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs tell me they don't like figures. I said, no, you have to love figures. And obviously, there are key metrics that you have to learn to track and you have to follow closely as much as possible. The more you do that, the higher the chances that you will survive. I think we spoke about delayed gratification. It's about learning how to plow back profits into the business so that your business is not just living on external borrowings. You can also build something from within to develop the business. Understand your cost structure. It's also important because you can't talk profitability without talking costs. And you cannot talk about positive balance sheets without looking at your cost structure effectively. Because once you learn to manage your cost, the chances of becoming profitable is also going to be higher. But please, there are two different things. Cost cutting is there. I will tell people don't cut costs. But when it comes to cost, ensure to evaluate and analyze costs and make the best of decision. So it might be looking as if you are spending a lot more today so that you can gain into the future. And it's important that we understand that. Understand your customer. The customer journey is very, very important. What are the touch points where your customers get across to you? And across all of those touch points, you have to be prepared to ensure that the experience is actually holistic. And it's important that you know that you are in business because of your customer. The moment it disappears, you stop being in existence. Know your products. It's important. This is where a lot of people follow bandwagon. Oh, this is what is trending. They want to jump in there. No, please don't follow the bandwagon. Know your products and know why you are doing those products. And the more you understand the product and the services that you offer, the higher the chances that your business will survive as much as possible. Never be afraid of competition. I think I mentioned that. The rule is that you have to dare to be different. If everybody is like this, then you have to be unique. And the more unique you are, the higher the chances that the market will identify you and will obviously gravitate towards you. So it's important. And I tell people you have to continuously raise the bar because competition will come. Don't ever remain the same. The way your business was a few years back cannot be the same way your business should be today. You have to constantly raise that bar. And that's one major reason why part of the profit made has to be plowed back into the business to continue to improve it. So let's look at the pestle analysis because this is also important and it addresses all of the external factors we spoke about. Whether you like it or not, it is a tool that you have to learn to use in business. Remember, pestle is P-E-S-T-E-L. And the first thing there is saying that you have to constantly evaluate and analyze the political space because what happens in the political space will have a way of impacting your business. And we are all students of history. In 2023, we had a new president. And on day one, we heard subsidy is gone. And a lot of us were shocked. But that discussion has been in the political space of Nigeria towards that election. And so I kept asking people, but we knew it would likely happen. So why are we shocked? It means people weren't paying attention to the political activities. So please, it's important. The economic space, too, is also important. The macro and the microeconomic space. The CBN will keep talking about the microeconomic. The Federal Ministry of Finance will keep looking at the macroeconomics. You must listen and read what they are saying because all of those, their pronouncement can make or mar your business. It's important. The social environment, where is your business situated? What is happening in your immediate space, in your immediate country? All of those things are very, very important that we must pay attention to. Technology is always evolving. Today, all of us knows that AI is around. Few years back, we're thinking it will come. Now, if you are not into AI, then something is obviously wrong with you. Am I right? The question is, how well are you utilizing this tool? And data has shown AI will produce more billionaires in the world within the next 5 years than the internet did for 20 years. And we are beginning to see it. The question is, what are we doing to it as entrepreneurs? It's important. Of course, the environment, you pay attention to the environment, and the legal space too is also very, very important. Because as your brand continues to scale and become prominent, they also run the risk of facing legal issues. And that's why constantly you have to pay attention to that. So let me begin to wrap up. And I'm going to just summarize for you what the future of retail looks like. I remember some few years back, 7, 10 years, it was as if e-commerce would come and it would be the end of brick and mortar. Beautifully for some of us, we were reading far ahead. And they told us then, but not a lot of people believed, that omni-channel is actually going to be the future of retail. And what does that mean? The combination of e-com and the brick and mortar in that space. And a company that continues to win in the retail space today are those companies that understand how to combine the brick and mortar with the e-com and all the other social media platforms. And they are still leading. So it's important for me, I know that's still the future of retail. Of course, it's going to be data-driven, it's going to be AI-powered, but people will still remain in the heart of retail as much as possible. Okay, so soaring over challenges in retail is not just about surviving. Because if we all just want to survive, that means we can just manage to eat 3 square meals in a day and probably run by paying our bills. But that's exactly not what we are saying here. It's about rising above limits, embracing change, and creating value that outlives circumstances. And it's important that we pay a lot of attention. Let's continue to build retail businesses that not only serve customers, but also strengthen the Nigerian economy and inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. And that's something I like to close with as much as possible. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Nigerians, stop complaining. Let's continue to look for the opportunities and solve the problems of this nation. And I'm sure we are aware that in the retail space, Dangote is trying to solve a major problem. And I was telling my team, I said, the cheese has since moved. People are still saying the hold order. The hold order has gone into extinction long ago. By the time you begin to see it, you begin to read it in the news, it has gone. It has gone. When you begin to read it on the news of newspapers, it has since gone. Well, what is left is just the carcass. People still thinking they can hold back to the old ways. It's gone. So please, don't allow a good crisis to go to waste. Only those who confront unusual challenges can flaunt unusual success. And I'm challenging you guys with your knowledge in the business school in Ibadan. The sky is obviously your beginning. The future belongs to those who see opportunities before they become obvious. I hope that sinks. On that note, I say thank you very much for allowing me to talk to you this morning.
A round of applause for our speaker, in person of pharmacist Taufik Oladipupo Odukoya. Thank you very much, sir, for that insightful session. I am going on with, never let a good crisis go to waste. Only those who confront challenges can flaunt unusual success. And he also mentioned how to soar over challenges. He mentioned build business map. He mentioned define your vision and strategy goals. He also mentioned allocate resources, conduct SWOT analysis, monitor and adapt, know your numbers, know your product. Please, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's rise up to give him a round of applause for that powerful session. Please, a round of applause for Pharmacist Taufik Oladipupo Odukoya. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So very quickly, we'll be going to the question and answer session. But before that, I would like to introduce some of our guest speakers that are here and also some distinguished guests that walked in while the session was going on. So the first person I'll be calling, please, I want us to clap. I want us to clap as I'm calling them. The person I'll be calling now is Dr. Jiho Salahuddin. He is representing Senator Sarafadin Abiodun Ali. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward to the high table. We are not clapping. Let's keep clapping. Let's keep clapping. Let's keep clapping. When he walks to the high table. You're welcome, sir. The next person I'll be calling now is the CEO and MD of Omega Petroleum, in person of Alhaji Kundus Jimoh. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes to the high table. A round of applause for Alhaji Kundus Jimoh. Okay. Alhaji Kundus Jimoh. You're welcome, sir. All right. I would also like to recognize our lecturers that walked in while the session was going on. I'd like to recognize Mr. Chinedu. Please, wherever you are, sir, please just wave your hands. Okay. I would also like to recognize Dr. Ajayi. Please, wherever you are, sir, please raise up your hands. Please, a round of applause for our lecturers. And I would also like to recognize the MSc president in person of Mr. Kelechi Chikezie. A round of applause for him. We are not seeing you, Mr. Kelechi. You're welcome, sir. So we'll be taking the question and answer. If you have your questions written down or you want to speak, please just raise up your hand and then we call you. So we have quite a number of questions for our pharmacist, Taufik.
All right.
Okay, this so we listen to another beautiful, great. Okay, that. Everything. Yeah, everything. For now. For now.
So the questions has been sent to the speaker. It's going through the questions. While we await that, we'll call on the next speaker for today's program. Person of Alhaji Kundus Jimoh. Please rise up, sir. Why? Hello. So, Mr. Kudus Jimo, Alaji Kudus Jimo, is a trailblazing entrepreneur and visionary leader who has built a remarkable empire across multiple industries. With a keen eye for opportunity and a passion for innovation, Alaji Kudus has successfully diversified his portfolio to include oil and gas, Omega Petroleum, knowledge of petroleum products, beauty and wellness through his acclaimed unisex salon and spa, Elox, retail, sustainable energy solutions, and real estate. As a seasoned entrepreneur, he has demonstrated exceptional leadership, strategic thinking, and a commitment to excellence, driving growth and success in his various ventures. With a proven track record of navigating complex industries and identifying untapped potential, Alhaji Kudus is poised to take on new challenges and explore emerging opportunities. His dedication to pushing boundaries and driving innovation has earned him recognition as a respected business leader. Alhaji Kudus is open to partner with like minds, financial partners in form of investors or special skill sets in form of equity. He believes working together as a team is better than working alone. Let us give Alhaji Kudus as he come forward to give his speech.
Good afternoon, everybody. Firstly, I would like to apologize for coming here late. I have a lot of things I'm doing, and to stand on the existing protocol, the MBA, ladies and gentlemen, like it has been stated, my name is Kudus Jima. The allergy that was added is just a privilege. I am here to discuss with everybody the basic knowledge in Nigerian oil and gas retails. The oil and gas is a very big and wide name, and to hear the name oil and gas, most of us here would think it's kind of something that is complex and it's not easy to dive in. But today, I want to believe at the end of this lecture, every one of us sitting down here, we have an opportunity to take home a very big lesson, which is going to help us today, tomorrow, or any time that we decide to invest in oil and gas. Introduction to Nigerian oil and gas. Nigeria stands as a titan. Nigeria stands as a titan in the global energy landscape, commanding respect as the Africa's largest oil producer. The oil and gas sector in Nigeria, is a bedrock of Nigerian economy, contributing approximately about 10 to 15% to the nation's GDP. And this sector generates over 90% of export earnings, making it the primary source of our foreign exchange. Now we have the landscape in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. As well, every business have the way of doing it. In Nigerian oil and gas sector, we have the landscape, we have the modality, we have the industry structure, we have the challenges, and we have the strategic opportunities that can help every one of us who are willing to invest or who are willing to partner in this business. For the industry structure, it has a comprehensive overview of 3-tier system from exploration to challenges and a way of overcoming the challenges. Now, for the structure in Nigerian oil and gas sector. It is categorized into 3 value chain, where we have the upstream, we have the midstream, and we have the downstream. The upstream of the Nigerian oil and gas sector is basically the geological surveying, drilling operation, and crude oil extraction. This is what we call oil drilling, yeah. So it's just a way of identifying the areas where we can find crude oil, doing your necessary surveys, getting your license and proper documentation, then begin your extraction. This is what basically the upstream entails. Then we have the midstream, which involves the processing and transportation of the extracted crude oil from upstream. Now, it involves the pipeline networks, storage facility, initial processing of crude oil and natural gas. Now we have the downstream of the Nigerian oil and gas sector. The downstream part of the Nigerian oil and gas sector is where it's easy for everybody to come in, where it covers the refinery, the product distribution network, the retail outlets, and satisfying the customers. The big question here is, for every industry, there are always some key players that are dominant in the industry. Today, I would like to open everybody to the key players in Nigerian oil and gas sector. I remember the time when I wanted to start this business. I was very, very concerned, being in existence over a decade. Somebody like me that is just coming into the business, how can I meet up? Well, I was able to go through the challenges, and here I am today, a successful businessman in Nigerian oil and gas. Some of the companies that we have here is the Shell, we producer in the country. This company basically involve themselves in the upstream sector of the Nigerian oil and gas. Then we have the Mobile. Mobile covers all the sectors. Every of our neighborhood, we can find a Mobile filling station. Mobile does not only involve themselves in the retail business of Nigerian oil and gas. They also involve themselves in the upstream, midstream, and the downstream of the Nigerian oil and gas. Then we have Total Energies, which also copies the Mobile strategy, and we have Chevron, a very big American company that has been in existence over a decade. Now we have the Nigerian-owned company, which is the NNPC, Nigerian National Petroleum Company, which has been converted into a limited liability in the year of 2022. Now, what do we need to know about NNPC? We need to know a lot about NNPC. Before the establishment of Dangote Refinery, NNPC used to be the sole importer of petroleum products into the country, whereby it makes it difficult for people to get products. And then, like I said, before the commencement of Dangote Refinery, Nigeria depends on exporting. The crude oils that are being extracted by these international companies who are into upstream, they are being exported to foreign countries to refine. These crude oils are gone. How can they come back to Nigeria for consumption? That is where NNPC comes in. NNPC, as a state-owned company, used to be the sole importer of petroleum products, and it only served the bigger companies in the Nigerian oil and gas retail. Now, as an individual who is an independent marketer, a company I started with, and with the help of God that is growing very well, it is difficult for us to get a product. And what do? If you agree with me, The structure of the Nigerian NNPC was very great, the way it was structured. But the question is, do we follow it? The answer is no. Every region of the country has one NNPC depot that is serving them, the like of the one we have at Akpata. For over a decade now, the depot has not been working. But as at today, the game has changed with the establishment of Dangote Refinery. Dangote Refinery as an individual investment, the single largest refinery in the Africa. Dangote Refinery, we all call Dangote Refinery as a game changer in the industry. Because without the establishment of Dangote Refinery, it won't have been easy for the retailers who operate one or not more than 2 filling stations to get a product in the industry. But as at today, like my co-speaker have said, the establishment of Dangote Refinery has changed a lot. Everybody can now go to Dangote Refinery following the due process, and Dangote Refinery is willing to sell to everybody. But here is the problem. Dangote Refinery has rules and regulations. You cannot buy from Dangote Refinery if you are not buying minimum of 2 million liters. It is not open to everybody. If, as at today, with the current price of petroleum products, which is around 925 naira per liter, the approximate cost of 2 million, 1.5 to 1.6 billion. But what is the way forward? The way forward is coming together of 1 or 2 retailers. Somebody who is willing to buy 500,000 liters. Somebody who has the capacity to buy 1 million liters. And somebody who has the capacity to buy 100,000 liters. Coming together of this group of individuals willing to work together, proceed to Dangote Refinery and get their products. So that has been a very significant change in the Nigerian oil and gas retail. We also have a challenge. Why is it that there is always a scarcity at every December in the year? It has been happening for over a few years now, which I doubt if the same thing is going to happen this December. Nigeria, as the largest oil-producing country in Africa, we depend on exportation, and which make it difficult for us to get back our products at the right time. As at today, the consumption of Nigerians per day is around 770 barrels per day. And the 4 refineries, even though they are not working, the 4 refineries that belongs to Nigeria have the capacity to refine only 440,000 barrels per day, which make it an approximate shortage of 320,000 liters per day. Even if these refineries decided to begin an operation today, we will still continue to have a scarcity. But what has changed? Dangote Refinery has changed the entire structure in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. Dangote Refinery, which has the capacity to produce not less than 650,000 liters barrel per day of crude oil, and they have a projection of going to 700,000 liters of crude oil barrel per day. Now with this, we do not have to suffer before we get the product. And with the production of petroleum products from Dangote refineries, we now have more than enough to solve our daily consumption. Now, investment in Nigerian oil and gas retail. We have different areas where we can invest in. We have a retail outlet. We have transport, which is as well known as haulaging. We have marketing aspects. But for a retail aspect, this is where I will be explaining the difference between an independent marketer and a major marketer. For every individual who have money, rent, lease, or own a filling station, 1, 2, or 3 filling stations, name it like the way I've named my own, Omega Petroleum. Approach any of the bigger companies. That's okay, I want to be buying products from you. What do I need to do? Meet up with the requirements. That investor or a company is known as an independent marketer. Now, for every bigger companies, just like I've said earlier, the international companies, most of them who are also in the retail sector, they are the ones that are known as major marketers. We have criteria to meet up with being a major marketer. You have to have at least 1 filling station in every state in Nigeria. You have to be readily available to serve your customers. A lot of criteria, documentations to meet up to being called and certified as a major marketer. So with this, it is kind of very easy for some bigger players in the industry because they started from small, they have grown, a lot of sacrifices, overcome a lot of challenges, and today we are seeing them as a bigger company. I would like to make reference to Bofas. I've known Bofas for a very long time, and today we have partnership with Bofas. So anything I'm saying about Bofas, to some point, I know what I'm saying. Bofas started over 40 years ago, and today they are among one of the most biggest player in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. Now, for every business, it involves some kind of capital to start. Some people will tell you you can start from scratch. Well, in Nigerian oil and gas sector, I wouldn't say it's not possible, but if you are going to start from scratch, you are going to do a lot of work because oil and gas sector is highly capital intensive. Long ago, when I fully began my retail business, the cost of lifting a truck then was, I think, 9.5 million per truck. And that is at the rate of 180 per liter. Today, to lift that same truck, you would have not less than 50 million to lift a truck. Some of us here would think, despite the fact that we have high capital, we would be making much. But I tell you today that then when we used to lift a truck at the rate of 180 per liter, we make more, than today. The only thing we have and the only interest we have to remain in business today is because of the future. Because we believe that this is not how it is going to continue. Despite the fact that oil and gas is highly capital intensive, there are ways at which we can raise capital to start. And then I have a tip for every individual who is willing to begin without any capital. Even though it is going to require some relationship, oil and gas sector is open to everybody. I've once been there, and I'm still willing to do it again. If you have a relationship, you can partner with people that have been in the business. We have the chairman of a bigger company among us, Vanguard. You can decide today that you want to partner with Vanguard, providing them with diesel at an agreed payment times. If you are coming to Omega Petroleum to come and buy a diesel, let's say we can give you the diesel at the rate of 1,000 per liter. Then you can go to Vanguard, liaise with the chairman. Tell him that you can supply him with diesel at the rate of 1,050 naira per liter. Trust me, he's a good man. He won't deny you that. So that is one of the tip you can take to an oil and gas retail without capital. But it's going to be very easier for you if you have capital. And these are the ways I think you can raise up capital if you are willing to invest in the oil and gas retail. We have equity financing. If you have one or two things that you can turn to cash, it is a very good one. I remember one of my brother in the industry. I will reserve the name because of security reasons. He told me, my brother, it is better for you to sell one of your property for expansion than going around. And I'm very happy that I took the advice. And today, the investment that I did with selling one or two of my properties has grown to the level at which I can buy that property again. Then we have debt financing. Even though it's not really advisable for a startup to go with debts, because we really do not know what is going to happen in the market. Every business comes with profit and loss. And if today you decide to go to bank to borrow you money based on future projection, bank will likely borrow you money based on what you have been making. So, and for a startup, I really want to believe impossible is nothing. As much as you can dream it, it can happen. Then we have project financing. Find one or two people who are willing to support you, invest in you, and you move on. Private equity and private investors. Please. I have been telling us a lot of things that we can. When he started borrowing out people money, to the point when he decided to start Sinon, which grown from small capital to a multi-billion dollars investment today. From the book, he stated how he decided to name his company Sinon, copying an American company that has been in existence for a very long time. What did he do? American company used to be X, but he decided to change the X to Seed, just to gain some familiarity. What lesson do I want to pass here? If you are naming your company, it has to be a company name that demands people attention. You can't just give your company a name that when people hears the name, you feel like, what's this one saying? You have to name your company a name that it will continue to ring in people's ear. When you decide the name, you approach Corporate Affairs Commission, you register the name, you get the necessary documents, you choose the sector at which you want to register the name. Is it going to be a limited liability company? Is it going to be an enterprise? By the time you are done with that, you secure initial regulatory permits, which is either done by NMDPRA or NUPRC. Then you obtain necessary license to operate in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. When I started my business, I really don't know what it means to have a license. Until one day, I was sleeping, and I got a call from one of my filling stations that we have been shut down. What happened? Why did they shut us down? I was very naive. I was new in the business. What happened? I started running. I remember very well. It was my first sad experience in the industry. When I got there, I met with the regulatory body. They came from the DPR. The NMDPR today used to be DPR, Department of Petroleum Resources. The first question they asked me is, where is your license? I was trying to play around that day, not knowing that they knew that I don't have license. Unfortunately for me, they locked it. And after a lot of confrontations, we went there. It doesn't work out. I had to appeal. That was the first time I met with the assistant controller of DPR, the Oyo State chapter, who is now the controller of the DPR. He advised me, and the relationship began that day. And today, for every of our retail outlets, the first thing we do is to secure a license. We have startup advice. Business is not easy. Being an entrepreneur is not just a title, it's a responsibility. One of my mentors will say, if you think you want to be an entrepreneur just because you want to be called a boss, you are just joking. Entrepreneurship comes with a lot of responsibility. And if you, at any time in point, you decide to embark on an entrepreneurship journey, you have to ensure that you conduct your market analysis. You don't just go into a business that you don't know about. To some point, invest in yourself, learn from people that have been in the business, give market what people want, not what people need. Then you have to choose your area of specialization. You can't be everywhere. In the oil and gas retail, you can choose to maintain a downstream. For every one of us who are growing in the industry, for most people, our dream is to become Dangote, to own our refinery. But we have to start from somewhere. Choose your area of specialization. Are you going to be a marketer? Are you going to be a retailer? Are you going to be a transporter? By the time you choose your area of specialization, then you get the necessary license and documentation that is going to help you navigate through the industry. And the most important thing is you have to make a very strategic partnership. By the time you get to some point in life, part of people you are growing with will no longer become your friend. You have to decide the kind of people you are going to move with, because building a strategic partnership will help a lot in the journey of an entrepreneurship. Then we have some takeaways for success. To run a successful oil and gas retail, you have to be able to identify your risk, and you have to be able to mitigate it. It is very unfortunate that we have a power breakout. I have highlighted some risks which we have in the slide, but briefly, part of the risk we have in the oil and gas is operational risk. And I would like to share one of the sad experiences that I've encountered in the industry. The day we commissioned my first filling station was the day we had our first fire outbreak. Yes, it happens. But with the help of God, we were able to mitigate the risk, and we moved on. It was a day I cried in the last 5 to 10 years that I can remember. I was afraid. The first thing that came to my mind was village people. But at the end of the day, it was an electric spark, a very small thing. We took our time, and we ensured that since then, it never happens again. We have financial risk, the market volatility. 3-4 days ago, selling price of a petroleum product, the PMS, used to be 865 per liter. But today, it is around 925 per liter. For somebody that lifted a product on Friday at the rate of 865 per liter, just for 2 days, I really don't think such business person would have sold more than half of the products. Yesterday, the price skyrocketed, and I want to believe for people that are in that position, they are running at loss at the moment. So the market volatility is one of the biggest risks in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. But with every risk, there is always a way to mitigate the risk. One of the advice I'll give is, if you are investing in the oil and gas sector, you should not buy more than what you can sell within a short period of time. So that even if we have a market volatility, you will escape. And even if you don't escape, the loss is going to be very small, which you can replenish in a short period of time. Part of the success tip is diverse funding. I've stated earlier, part of which we can get funding to promote a sustainable oil and gas retail company. Then you have to ensure that you maintain the policy of 3 pillars of market entry. And finally, final words of advice. If you are building a business, you should not think about a short term. You should think about a long term. To make reference to what my colleague here have said, do not ever take more than 25% of your profits. Even though your business is doing well, you have to ensure that you retain certain percentage from your profits to promote your business. You have to be patient. Success doesn't come overnight. I have a lot of experiences to share, but we don't have a lot of time. You have to be compliant. Like one of the experiences that I've shared, the day we were locked, it was one of the best days for us. Had it been we were not locked, we would have sold a lot of market in that day. And what happened? Because we were not compliant. For every individual who are willing to invest in oil and gas sector, you have to ensure that you get necessary documentation. You have to be strategic, and you have to be resilient. In the oil and gas industry, your reputation is your most valuable asset. Build it carefully, protect it fiercely, and leverage it strategically. Thank you once again for this privilege.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful session. So since morning, we have been having a wonderful session with our speakers, ranging from the risk, how we will run a business, All right. So before we proceed, our mommy, the HOD, wants to address us. While she's doing that, there'll be a QR code that will be projected on the screen, where for those that you can send to those that want to stream online. Right. So thank you, ma'am. Let's a round of applause as our mommy comes forward to address us.
Thank you very much. Before the next speaker comes up, I want to sincerely apologize to Dr. Salahuddin. It is not that we slighted you in any way. We apologize for keeping you this long and waiting for this long. I want to say that Senator Sarafaddin Ali is dear to us and is an important person to us. We know that he not being here personally this morning must have been due to a very cogent reason that he could not avoid, because when we met him, he promised us as much as possible. You will, and we are sorry we couldn't have called you on without your citation, because we know that it's going on live, and a person of that capacity and capability and integrity is somebody that must be showcased properly. We want you to extend our greetings to him, that we appreciate him, we honor him, and we are looking forward to see him again. You are a powerful representative by your own self. Gan baba ṣe kí n sọ Yorùbá, ẹ̀yin gan fúnra yín èèyàn ńlá, ẹ tún wá èèyàn ńlá tún wá rán èèyàn ńlá wá, ẹ rí pé èèyàn ńlá méjì ló papọ̀ yẹn. So bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń jíṣẹ́ yín, jíṣẹ́ bàbá wa Sarafaddin Ali, ẹ̀yin náà tún wá jíṣẹ́ tara yín. So iṣẹ́ méjì wọ́n jẹ́ fún wa lónìí o. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you, sir. Bàbá mi mo kí yín o, ìlú ó dáa o, ẹ kú ètò ìlú o.
Please, a round of applause for our HOD. Senator Sarafaddin Abiodun Ali sent a representative, a powerful representative, in person of Dr. Jiho Salahuddin. Please, can you rise up, sir? So I'll be taking this citation of Senator Sarafaddin Abiodun Ali. He was born in Ibadan, Nigeria, April 20th, to the renowned Olofiere family in Mapo area of Ibadan. Mapo area of Ibadan. And grew up at Oke Aremo in Ibadan North local government area of Ibadan. He began his educational career at the Progressive Day School, Alaodorin Isale Osi, Ibadan, and proceeded to Anwaru Islam Ahmadiyya Grammar School, Elele, Ibadan, for his O-level certificate, and later to Ilesha Grammar School, Ilesha, Osun State, for his A-level certificate. For his tertiary education, Ali studied law from the University of Ibadan in 1986 and attended the Nigerian Law School, Victoria Island, in 1987. Years later, and to satisfy his urge for higher degrees in law, Ali, notwithstanding his successful legal and political career, went back to the same University of Ibadan and bagged master's degree in law. He has had a towering and enviable political career since age 28, when he became the first elected executive chairman of the most populous council in Oyo State, Ibadan North, between 1991 and 1993. He was the pioneer state secretary of People's Democratic Party, Oyo, from September 1998 to September 1999, and later acting state chairman, People's Democratic Party. Under the administration of former Governor Rashidi Ladoja, Ali served as secretary to the state government from May 2003 to May 2005, chief of staff from May 2005 to May 2007, and joined the defunct Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, where he became chairman, board of directors, Odua Investment Company Limited, from November 2011 to April 2014. In a world where many politicians prioritize personal gain and self-interest, Senator Sarafaddin Ali stands out as a beacon of public service. His humility, promise-keeping, and genuine concern for the people he represents make him a respected and admired leader. Senator Ali's leadership style is a testament to his unwavering commitment to the betterment of society, and his tireless efforts serves as an inspiration for future leaders. Senator Sarafaddin Abiodun Ali is a true Omoluabi senator, a leader who embodies the values of honesty, integrity, and humility. He currently represents the people of Oyo South at the National Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, join me with a standing ovation as I welcome a representative of Senator Sarafaddin Abiodun Ali in person of Dr. Jiho Salawuddin. A round of applause for him as he takes this next session. Please, let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. I am Dr. Gio Salawuddin, Dean, School of Special Education, Federal College of Education. Very sorry that he could not be here today. Thank you very much. Notwithstanding his absence, he has some messages that he has me to deliver to the house here. The topic is transforming agricultural education into wealth creation, strategies for business-driven agricultural sector in Nigeria. Speaker, Chairman, Senate Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions. Occasion 2025 MBA Week, Master of Business Administration Student Association, University of Ibadan, School of Business. Introduction. It's always been the backbone of our economy. Yet, despite its vast potential, agriculture in Nigeria has been perceived largely as subsistence, low profit due to logistics and transport costs, and unattractive to the younger generation. For too long, our agricultural education system has focused on theory and production without embedding strong entrepreneurial, business, and innovation-driven approaches. As chairman of Senate Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions, I am convinced that unless we transform agricultural education into a business-driven model, we will continue to miss the opportunities to create jobs, reduce poverty, strengthen food security, and build national wealth. The challenges we face. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our agricultural education system faces multiple challenges. One, outdated curriculum. Agricultural colleges still focus heavily on crop and animal science theory, while neglecting agribusiness, value chain development, and modern market systems. Compared to global standards, Nigeria agricultural economic curriculum is less aligned with modern tech-driven methodologies. Global institutions emphasizes climate-smart agriculture, biotechnology, and AI integration, while Nigeria curricula still lean heavily on traditional practices. 2, weak industry linkages. Graduates often leave institutions without practical experience or exposure to real agribusiness operations. Limited. 3, even when trained, young agripreneurs struggle to secure credit and investments. Technology gaps. Number 4, while digital tools, mechanizations, and climate-smart practices are transforming global agriculture, our institutions lag behind in adoption. Number 5, perception problem. Agriculture is still viewed as a last resort for the jobless, not a profitable and competitive enterprise. Number 6, inadequate infrastructural facilities. Many Nigerian colleges lack modern labs, demonstration farms, and digital learning tools. Yes, the infrastructure is non-existent. These include no roads, bad roads, lack of market for agricultural produce, lack of storage facilities and incubators, etc. Then, number 7, low productivity. This is low agricultural yield varieties due to lack or inadequate farm inputs. Number 8, limited capacity to conduct research and innovation. Vision. From classroom to agribusiness boardroom. Our vision is clear: to transform agricultural colleges into incubators of wealth creation, producing graduates who are not only farmers but also entrepreneurs, innovators, and employers of labor. By 1, bridging the theory. Practice gap. Traditional agricultural curricula in Nigeria lean towards outdated theoretical delivery, producing graduates lacking practical agribusiness skills. 2, tapping into economic and food security potential. Nigeria's agriculture through foundation is hindered by low education levels, poor infrastructure, and minimal access to modern techniques, limiting productivity and income growth. Opportunity for youth-driven innovation. Engaging the youth through dynamic applied learning can foster agri-tech startups, vertical farming, and other tech-enabled ventures. We must move from an education system that produces job seekers to one that produces job creators in agriculture. Strategic pathways for transformation. Identify strategies for improving and unlocking the potentials of agriculture colleges and institutions for food security and job creation. 1, curriculum and pedagogy reform. Integrate entrepreneurship, agribusiness, management, digital agriculture, and financial literacy into core agricultural studies. Incorporating emerging practices like precision farming, mapping, data analytics, blockchain for traceability, smart farming tools. Landmark University, FUNAB, and Babcock University are already setting standards. By integrating tech-like drones, GPS-guided systems, and precision agriculture into the training program. Promote experiential learning where every student runs a small agribusiness project before graduation. Encourage modular competency-based training for farmers and rural youth. Greening curriculum for sustainable skills. embed environmental stewardship, climate smart practices, renewable energy, and circular agricultural principles. Number 2, agribusiness incubation and mentorship. Establish agribusiness incubators within agricultural colleges. Provide students with access to land, equipment, mentorship, and seed capital to test their ideas. Partner with industry leaders to mentor students in real-life agribusiness ventures embedding working farms and regular industry visits into curricula and show hand-on experience. Number 3, public-private partnership. Strengthen collaborations between institutions, agribusiness firms, financial institutions, and government agencies. Forge partnership across industry, government and academia. Joint efforts can align education with market demands and channel job opportunities. Replicate proven models like Babangona. Their training plus credit model enhances smallholder profitability and ownership through co-op trust groups. Link training directly to value chains, from cassava processing to poultry production, horticulture, aquaculture, and agro-exports. Companies like Olam, Flour Mills, Hello Tractor, and Nafex illustrate how value chain integration, logistics platforms, and vertical strategy can enhance farmer profitability. Ensure guaranteed offtake arrangements between institutions and private sector. Number 4, access to finance and business development support. Through legislative backing, we are working to expand agricultural credit schemes targeted at graduate and youth cooperatives. Encourage innovative financing such as matching grants, cooperative lending, and public-private investment funds. Train students on how to prepare business plans, access loans, and manage enterprises sustainably. Technology and digital agriculture. Introduce ICT-driven farming practices, precision agriculture, hydroponics, and climate-smart innovations into our institutions. Promote the use of mobile platforms for price information, digital payments, and extension services. Support the development of low-cost processing equipment and post-harvest policy and institutional support. As lawmakers, we are committed to passing legislation that strengthens agricultural institutions, funds research, and incentivizes agribusiness startups. In 2025 budget, the 40 research institutes received a combined 126.03 billion naira allocation, and we hope to improve on this in the next budget. Can't we appreciate them for doing that? That's a lot of money. Yeah. We will ensure improved budgetary allocations for colleges to modernize laboratories, farms, and research centers. Encourage accreditation standards that include entrepreneurship as a graduation requirement. Embed skill acquisition from early schooling. Nigeria is introducing agriculture and processing skills into primary and junior secondary schools curricula starting in 2025 to cultivate yearly interest. Encouraging youths to learn at least one vocational subject, e.g., agriculture, can bolster self-employment and enterprise creation. Leverage federal programs like Empower Agro, GEEP, JIP, FADAMA, GUIs and Feed the Future, which offer training, stipends, and agribusiness support for youth. In support of all this, we have practical scenarios. Practical scenarios on transformation. Cassava value chain in Ogun State. An agricultural college partners with local women cooperatives and cassava processors. Students are trained in improved varieties, processing and packaging of gari, starch, and bioethanol. Within 2 years, cooperative incomes increased by 40% and graduate form SMEs supplying urban markets. Scenario 2, youth poultry incubation in Kaduna. Students trained in poultry production, feed formulation, and agribusiness accounting establish a youth poultry cluster. Backed by microcredit and guaranteed offtake by a processing company, the project employs 50 young people and supplies 5,000 broilers monthly to city supermarkets. Scenario 3, urban hydroponics in Lagos. An agricultural college partners with a private tech incubator to establish rooftop vegetable farms using hydroponics. Graduates supply fresh vegetables to urban restaurants, generating high margins and attracting more youth into modern agribusiness. Scenario 4, Ondo Wealth Creation Agency, worker support agripreneurship via agrobusiness cities. ABCs, a dedicated agro incubators offering land, training, input, and a share of profit, blending education with real business exposure, and thus create ownership for youth in agriculture value chain. Monitoring and accountability. To ensure sustainability, we will adopt clear performance indicators such as number of graduates who establish viable agribusiness. 2, revenue generated from student-led enterprises. Jobs created through incubation centers. Level of private sector investment into agricultural colleges. Call to action. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria cannot achieve food security, job creation, or economic diversification without transforming agricultural education. As chairman of the Senate Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions, I reaffirm our commitment to championing policies, budgets, and legislation that will, 1, modernize agricultural curricula and integrate modern agri-tech, green skills, and experiential learning skills across agricultural institutions. Build agribusiness incubation hubs, expand access to finance, and foster strong linkages between education, industry, and markets, e.g. Babangona, Thrive Agric, training centers, e.g. Ondo Worker, ABCs and research bodies, IITA, and agri-tech firms for mentorship and funding. But government alone cannot do it. We need private sector investment, donor support, community ownership, and youth engagement to turn this vision into reality. Impact of the transformation. By embracing these strategies, Nigeria can produce agripreneurs, not just agricultural graduates. 2, drive job creation along the agri-value chain. 3, propel technological innovations in farming and processing. 4, strengthen food security and decrease import reliance. 5, elevate wealth outcomes across rural and urban communities. At the beginning of this paper, it was said that Greek is our traditional work. It's our traditional occupation. But even at that, we are not progressing, we are not advancing, we are not modernizing. And we have identified a number of issues. What are the problems and what are the solutions? So we have been able to identify problems, we have been able to provide solutions. And we said government alone cannot solve all these problems. It is in conjunction with private individuals, established organizations, and financial institutions. So in conclusion, transforming agricultural education into a business-driven model is not just desirable, it is urgent and necessary. By equipping our youth and farmers with entrepreneurial skills, access to finance, and modern technology, we can move agriculture from subsistence to prosperity, from survival to wealth creation. Together, let us build a Nigeria where agricultural education is not just about planting crops, but about implanting ideas that grow into businesses, jobs, and national wealth. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll call on the HOD to address us.
Mr. Vanguard, sir, we have a business to settle, so you cannot go now. Thank you. Just 1 minute, we will sort it out. I just want to quickly respond to the message sent by Honorable our Baba, Senator, High Chief, Lawyer, Barrister. God bless you. So I just want to tell you that University of Ibadan School of Business is a place that Senator can look in when it comes to fulfillment of a number of things that he has raised. Number one, when it comes to training and capacity building, we have the strength here. We have a program called MBA Agribusiness. MBA Agribusiness students, are you here? It's one of the flagship of our MBA program. There are other areas, marketing, entrepreneurship, human resource management, finance, and accounting that we run here. And before you go, we'll just ask you to just go towards the back, and you see the small area in US School of Business. And we are going to have it as a small business also. Sir, are you giving us your word?
Let us start.
Are you giving us your word? He has a paper already. He has a paper already.
Well,
no, he's not going.
if that's the wish of everybody, I guess.
I'm not the one. No, they said from today, immediately. Thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon once again, everyone. My task is very simple. But before I go into it proper, I want everyone here to be a judge in this scenario case that I want to play now. You know, I mistakenly made a transfer of 40,000 naira to an unknown person's account. And when I discovered, I picked up the call, the phone number, and I called the person. And he bargained with me that he's going to take 10%. That is business, right? And we're in School of Business. Then, after more deliberation, I agreed. He's supposed to send me 36,000 naira. Then he mistakenly transferred 360,000 naira to me. So, what should I do? Business continue. On that note, I want to say Thank you very much for having me here. And to our panelists, I also want to apologize for coming late. We have one big event in the university tomorrow, which is a roundtable conference discussion between the industry and the researchers. We call it Town and Gown Roundtable discussion. And I'm aware that our CEO here, the esteemed Vanguard CEO, is one of the people we are expecting at that occasion. But as we speak now, some of the guests have been flying in and we'll be accommodating them in a hotel. So for me to be here today is a dedication, and it's something that I just have to respect MBA Association. Thank you very much. Without much ado, School of Business is blazing the trail. We all know Harvard Business Review. Who has been receiving Harvard Business Review? Who has ever come in contact with one? None. Business students. Wow. Okay. Thank you. I've been receiving too. And highly inspiring. Now I want to look at it that can't we do something that relates and connects with our environment, with our business environment. And that's why in the wisdom of the MBA executive this year, I've started, I think this is the second edition, right? The maiden edition. Wow. And you are saying that this is and people will start getting it, just like Harvard Business Review. Thank you very much. We want to go into launching of this for its sustainability. And, as it is, can I open one? Can you just open this for me? We have quite insightful topics. Quite insightful. I tell you, time and time will not permit me to go through it. I would love to do that, do a quick review for you to know what you are to expect. But because of time, I'm aware some of our guests are running out of time. So because of that, I may not be able to do that. So we want to go into launching proper. This is the time we've been waiting for. And this is School of Business. It's time to do business. So, Mr. President, I need you beside me. When we talk about launching, so thank you very much. I was given tasks and I have to be instructed. No other person will launch this book first because he actually contributed to it. Almost everybody here contributed to this, and I've gone through the soft copy to an extent. I tell you, it's highly inspiring. You cannot miss it. So I want to make welcome upstage here to the CEO of Vanguard Pharmacy, Mr. Pharmacist, high chief in the waiting. And what you see here today, you don't need to be an indigent for you to become an high chief. So at least it's an honor and you deserve it. You've invested in Ibadan so much. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4. Should I continue? And it's still counting. So that's why we have this book. Can I get a copy for him? I'm also made to understand that prior to this time, Vanguard Pharmacy has actually assisted in printing this book. He has given to the production. He has a write-up in this book. And I tell you, So also, let's also make welcome our senator and also the CEO of Omega Petroleum. You know, when the three of them are standing, the bills are paid, right? That's it now. Meaning next year, business compass is settled. That's just the meaning. And can I have copies? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it's an inspiration to see business moguls, politicians, successful politicians in our midst to show us examples of what we are to expect. I need another microphone, please. You know, when we talk about money, this money we are talking about is not the money like that. It is alarm. It is not something, it is something that will do. You will be wondering, what happened? Don't worry, we are not in Afghanistan. We are in Nigeria, School of Business. So the senator goes first. I know Senator must have send us.
Anyway.
Also, we have account. I made them to understand. We have account number on the screen. If it is transfer, anyhow, this is School of Business. We are ready.
Like I said the other time, I'm not sure if the senator is aware that there will be something like launching today, because what he said was that in the second occasion, that is on Saturday, that if there is going to be anything like this, that we do that on Saturday. That was his message. And I'm sure by God's grace, we make the association.
Saturday is just around the corner. So we wait to hear from Senator. Someone just has to, you know, Senator sent somebody who is capable, who is able, who can do anything. You can just say on behalf of Senator, just take this 20 million.
You are right. You are right. But like I said, a senator is the drummer, while I am the drum. So by the time this beats the drum, the drum will speak. The drum will speak. So let's wait till Saturday by God's grace. Both of us will be there.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. On Saturday, there is very high expectation. Because for it not to happen today, it is going to happen on Saturday. Definitely is building. You understand? So we expect that. Wow. Where do I go now? Oh, oil and gas. Oil money. See, if you ever taste oil money, you will not do anything again. You just stick to oil money. Thank you very much. You know, when it is not an alert, it is not an alert. It is an alarm. That's when such a statement is an alarm. That's when such a statement comes out. So, definitely we know. We know. Vanguard Pharmacy. You know, this is retailing. We see. You know, this is retailing. We exchange money instantly. So this one exchange money instantly. So this one is instant. So let's see. You know, this is instant. So let's see.
You know, I think it's actually interesting day, really.
Thank you very much.
And the fact that the representative of the senator have spoken.
Wow.
My very good friend also spoke.
Wow.
But I am standing here representing myself.
Exactly.
And obviously, when I go out to represent myself, I just do it well.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to support the magazine and the beautiful book, Open Secret to Success. Because there are two in one that we are doing. Yeah. And I think it's important that people
that is from the able president.
As a free,
Yes.
accompanying this.
This, exactly.
So whatever we are giving goes as
this.
not as this.
Yes.
But me, I love to support people that can sit and write books.
And write books. Wow. That's wonderful.
I have been planning to write books.
Wow.
And it's not been easy.
Many of us.
To really sit down and write. So when I see this, so I'm supporting this.
Wow.
With an undisclosed amount, sir.
Wow.
Just give me the account. I will send it.
Thank you very much.
And for the magazine.
A round of applause. You can do better, please.
For the magazine.
Yes.
I'm excited because of what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a quick scan.
Sincerely, I am.
And the image of the person in front is interesting. And if you flip through, you will realize that this book is actually a must read for anybody here and even those outside there. I'll also support this with an instant transfer right away. Where is the account? Which bank? First Bank. Okay. So First Bank. I'll send it right away too. And I'll follow my friend. I won't disclose it.
Thank you very much.
The organizers will see the alert ASAP now.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You know, I've said it. It is an alarm, not an alert. That is why it is coming this way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll also have a token to be presented by the head of department for honoring an invitation and being so supportive. I'm being so supportive to our School of Business, University of Ibadan School of Business.
Very much. We are glad that Senator Sarafadin Ali has been able to honor us by sending our doctor G.O. Salaudin to represent him. We want to thank you very much. So this is an award of appreciation presented to our senator in recognition of his valuable contribution to our MBA week. Thank you very much. Please deliver a message to Senator that we are grateful. Baba ni babo moje, babo si ni tan lorile. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The next person, I'm not talking to Vanguard Pharmacy yet because he's doing two things today. He's the last person I'm going to give the award to, and then we'll quickly do the next thing, and then we allow him to go. Although people are saying you need to talk to them again. We want to present this to Alhaji Kudus Jimo, the MD CEO, Omega Petroleum, not only in recognition of his valuable contribution, but also his promise to set up a small oil and gas business in US School of Business. We want to appreciate you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Don't go, because we are going to support Vanguard Pharmacy. He's our own. Sincerely yours, he is our own. Can we put our hands together for him again and again? Woo! The next level. And you can agree with me that there are able people to support him today. See, oil and gas. Oil and gas, they here. Abi? Senator, they here. Abi? Are you comfortable with all of them joining you? Immediately, he said he's supporting that. So on behalf of University of Ibadan School of Business, thank you very much for being part and parcel of us. We are grateful for impactful life. And quickly, do I do it now? Let me quickly just read to you. University of Ibadan School of Business Development Committee inauguration. So we are inaugurating this now. And the term of reference is to consider long-term sustainability and reliance of the School of Business and review the values of the services the school provides to the society. Number 2, develop strategic plan for medium to long-term development of the school. Number 3, articulate strategies for mobilizing of resources for the realization of the strategic plan. Number 4, develop an action plan and monitoring and evaluation framework for the execution and evaluation of the strategic plan. Then, when appropriate, provide suggestions on acceleration of the efficiency and improvement of the School of Business model for the school activities. Then support business school in building strategic partnership with the public and private sectors organization, and then work closely with applicable committees and interest group to execute, integrate initiatives and programs. These are the terms of reference that has been drawn up for the development committee. Is worthy to be the chair, isn't it? It has his team. Will you rise up as we inaugurate University of Ibadan Business Development Committee under the leadership of pharmacist Taofik Odukoya. So, sir, Mr. Teller, please come. President, join in. You are in that committee. Join in. Come on. Mr. Teller, I work with a helicopter. And so, sir, this group of people, they are taking off as the members of the development committee. Dr. Oguleke and Dr. Olanipeku automatically belongs to that committee also. So please, can you take the group photograph? And sir, please tell the people over there that this group has been inaugurated and work starts immediately with the term of reference in your hand. I'll report back to the Vice Chancellor that this had been done. Thank you very much. Are we in support? Are we in support? He should go ahead. God bless you. Emma Yomi photo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. While the picture is going on, I want us to do something beautiful. Are we happy? Are we happy? I can't even say we are hungry because I can see refreshment on the table. But in case you are still hungry, we have people that are selling outside there, selling rice, asun, shawarma, and the rest. Okay, our guest speaker will come inside, so they will answer the questions that were written down.
So now we are going to some Q&A section. You know, we are in the knowledge economy, and speeches has been made. Lectures have been given. The audience have some questions for our guests before they leave. I'll just categorize those questions and I'll go straight to the point. They have. So the first question goes to the CEO, Omega Petroleum, as well as the CEO, Vanguard Pharmacy. Somebody asked, he says, what's your biggest staffing challenge and how did you handle it? I think to Omega Pharmacy, Omega Petroleum, and Vanguard Pharmacy. maybe it's in the pipeline. Thank you. Sorry, can I just put this so that I don't waste time? It's almost the same thing. This one is asking that at what point will you know that you have actually selected the best team in your organization? Thank you.
Point at which, when I was working, I fainted. It was very tough. It was tough. So sick to the level at which I cannot sleep again. Thank you. This thing that I'm saying, it happens within my first 3 years in business. My haulage department, all the trucks in the haulage department developed engine problem at a time. It was a very serious scenario. But what did I do? At some point, I paused. I took time to analyze what was happening. By the time I discovered the cause of the problem, I needed to have some fun to move on. But I had to be sure that the decision I'm making is the right decision. I have few friends who stood by me, and I have friends who left me, thinking it's the end of life. I was able to manage it well. Even if I do not want to manage it, I don't have a choice. I became so strong. Till today, I still have the mark in my arms. The marks from the injections that I took during the scenario. It became a very strong memory for me. And that was when I learned very hard the essence of having excess fund in business. At every point in time, your business has to be liquid. People that knew me very well knew I'm a risk taker. I can project my income for a few years and then decide how to spend those income without even having the income at hand. That was the cause of my problem. I over-projected. And it failed. At the end of the day, I got support from friends and family. I came back to life, and business continues. Then the second question, how do you know if you have a right team? Well, one thing I want to make us understand is the way an employer would think is not the same way an employee would think. The primary objective of an employee is to make money. There is nothing that you want to tell them. There is no amount of money you invested in your team, even though it counts. But you have to have this in mind. For everybody that works with you, as much as they have a starting date, there will surely be an end date. The fear of an employee losing, the time I overcame the fear of losing an employee was the day I got a resignation letter from one of my trusted employees. Even though I pretended as if nothing happened, but within me I knew what happened. There are ways of managing them. Just be human. Treat them well. Train them. And ensure that you are not a boss. Be a leader. But you have to have at the back of your mind, there is no permanent friend in business. And there is no permanent enemy. I hope I've answered the question.
Thank you very much. So to pharmacist Oladipo. Yes, up to you, sir. The same question. Yeah, the same question.
I thought one answer would suffice.
Okay.
Because we are
but the issue there is one solution may not suffice.
Okay.
So the way you might have approached it may be different from how you may have approached it. And this is School of Business.
I agree.
Thank you.
So the first question, biggest challenge. That's a story. One story I like to tell when we induct new people in our office is that side of that story. It was 2011. we were relocating from our small store, a 30 square meter space that I showed the image earlier, where practically every inventory there, I will tell you offhand what it is, who bought what, and how much we had left. 27th of March, we moved onto a bigger space. And that was when the crisis started. And we started bleeding. When I say bleeding, we were bleeding heavily. At the time, we were indebted to the tune of about 13.5 million naira. I remember clearly. And every month, we were losing in cash and cash equivalent of over 500,000 naira. The first month of April, I thought it was a joke. The second month, it happened. The third month, and every Monday, I'll call in an emergency meeting of the team. I'll begin to beg them. And these are money that enter through the till that nobody can account for. The question is, like my brother said, Aye got the problem. The problem is not any third party. The problem is understanding and truly learning from the issues. So what did we do? We seek for education. We got the education, and we got recommended a retail consultant that charged us heavily that year a lot of money. It's still a lot today. Today, how many years after? It's still a lot of money. But we listened to him, and it was the first time I was hearing that I was the problem of the business. How can I be the problem? Taufik, that leaves home in the 7 a.m. that doesn't get back until 10:30, 11 p.m. Same with my wife. And the guy looked at her and said, the two of you are the problem. How? Why now? Because we own the business and we're the one that failed to put in the systems and processes. So don't blame third party. And that's why I tell people, they steal your money, okay, you are the problem. Don't blame any other person. So we picked the learnings. We got back. We were able to fix. And you know what happened? About 70% of our employees, some of them were caught stealing directly, some of them indirect stealing, some of them disappeared before they were caught. But the beautiful side of the other story is that some of the people that stayed with us then, as some of them are still with us till today, and they have climbed to the highest cadre in the business. Because over time, some people have shown that highest level of integrity in the midst of crisis. So it's actually a learning, and it was a serious period, but we learned from it, we came out from it. And today, that's why I tell people that we can continue to scale because we understand how to actually do the game. But we learned from the very, from that moment of crisis. So the second question is about employee. How do you know you have the right employee? Am I right? That is very, very simple. The reality is that any employee that can't fit into the culture of your company does not belong to your organization. It doesn't matter how brilliant. So for us, we are a company of oranges. We allow the apples to go, and we look for the bad oranges, we eliminate them too. So it's about culture for us, our way of life. This is who we are. And once you don't align with our culture, bye, please leave us. We are unapologetic about that. We will allow you to go. It doesn't matter whether you are a first-class brain or a this brain or a that brain. It is about culture for us as much as possible. And that means you have to clearly define your culture. And you must also ensure you track it and you ensure people conform as much as possible with it. Thank you.
A round of applause. Wow. Wonderful. You know, managing employees are something very, very serious, and which has been discussed in the class many times. And I remember in one of the seminars we had with you, sir, you mentioned how to, the 3H. That is, managing an employee means you should be able to gain their head, their hand, and their hearts. You remember? We remember in class? Good. Because employee that whose head, hand, and heart you could not gain is not yours. It's just passing. It's just a matter of time. That's on that note. So moving on, we have many questions here. Now to the senator. There's a question here that says, how do Nigerian government ensure the sustainability of agribusiness in Nigeria?
In the speech delivered on behalf of the senator, he mentioned it there. He said, as a senator, especially chairman, Committee on Agriculture, he said he will be a facilitator of enabling law that will support agriculture in all ramifications. So I think if we have laws in place that support agricultural practices, and we have the will on the part of the government, I think we are good to go. That is the role, that is the part as a senator, that is the role they can play as senators to see that they make enabling laws that will support agribusiness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Meaning there is future for agribusiness in Nigeria. We look forward to see that, because that is the future of this country. After oil and gas, that is the next oil and gas. That is just it. So I have another question. I think this question goes to pharmacist Oladipupo. How do you survive in the markets where both wholesalers and retailers sell online and prices clash? That's the question, sir. Say, how do you survive in this kind of business? We have big businesses who are both retailers and wholesalers.
Okay, so I think one thing anybody that wants to venture into a business must first realize is that you don't have power over competition. It is not your headache. I will continue to say this 1 million times. Because if you spend a lot of time thinking about your competition, you won't have enough time to think about your strategy. So what I've seen that is common in the space that we are in is that people like to copy a lot of things. Why copy when you can truly be unique and independent? So my message is, whenever you want to do anything, always remember the first rule in branding is to differentiate yourself or you die. And when we use that word differentiating yourself, including in your product or services. So remember, I also said you should plow back your profits. You remembered? As you scale, what do you also do? So for us today, there are a lot of wholesalers that we cannot even buy from because we are already bigger than them. And it is just what it is. We want to buy Coca-Cola, for example. Why should we buy from a third party? We won't buy from a third party because over the years, 19 years, we have never eaten up our profit on this product. So today, we are able to buy directly from the factory. So whoever we are competing with is probably buying from that space. So why should I be scared, or my team should be scared? We won't. So in business, all of these things are small things that you have to bring together as one and use. Do you get it? So it is not a one-off answer that one is who is selling, where is the person buying from? Are you the manufacturer? If Coca-Cola decides to start selling to the end users tomorrow, do you get that? It simply means that Coca-Cola will need to build the capabilities that all of us have also built. We have our store that is open from morning till night. That is in the neighborhoods. That people can walk out 5-minute drive from their home and get what they want and go back. Probably getting one thing from that space. So when we say competitive advantage, you have to build it intentionally into your business over a period of time, not just with the word of mouth. And I hope that helps that person to actually pick one or two things.
But competitive advantage is what you build over time. You know what? We mentioned goodwill in book of accounts, and we'll give examples of companies who have built goodwills over the years. Coca-Cola is there, Toyota is there, and the likes of them. And in your business, 1,000 journey, they say, starts with just a step. Once you can take that step in the right direction, you'll definitely be where you are supposed to be. At this junction, I want to say thank you to the organizers for having me. I think my job is done here. Thank you to the HOD and to our panelists and our students. Thank you so much. A round of applause for me anyway. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Ajayi, and our distinguished speakers. Thank you very much. So we'll be rounding up now.
Sorry, students, please come and take your picture. You said that
Okay, so we'll be rounding up now, but I want us to go on with some, if at all you do not get anything today, please, let's go on with this. The first one I highlighted here is never let a good crisis go to waste. Only those who confront challenges can flaunt unusual success. Then another one that I highlighted here is in the middle of difficulty lies opportunities. Then the last one is every challenge carries within it the seed of equal or greater benefit. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to day 2 of the MBA Week 2025. Please, I would indulge us to go out for pictures. Network, and we can also use this medium to network with one another. You never can tell, your future investor is sitting right next to you. I mean, your partner is sitting right next to you. I mean, your husband